Hyun opened his eyes slowly. His body felt heavy, like it was made of stone. The air was cold and damp. Red lights flashed on and off above him. A loud alarm rang in his ears. Where was he? His mind was foggy. Then it hit him. The attack, the ships in the sky, the screams as buildings fell. Earth was under attack. That was his last memory. Hyun pushed himself up. He was in a cryopod, a sleeping chamber meant to keep him alive while frozen. The glass cover had opened on its own. He looked around and saw 5 other pods in the small room. They were also opening. "Commander Hyun," a weak voice called out. It was Jin, his security chief. She was sitting up in her pod looking just as confused. "Jin," Hyun said, his voice rough from not being used. "We're alive." One by one, the others woke up. Dae, the engineer, Sue and Mina, the scientists, June, the pilot. They made up Hyun's core team, the best Earth had to offer. "The bunker systems are failing," Dae said, looking at a screen on the wall. "Life support is almost gone." "How long were we asleep?" June asked, rubbing his eyes. Sue walked to the main computer. Her fingers moved fast over the keyboard. "This can't be right," she said, her face going pale. "It says we've been asleep for 300 years. The room went quiet. 300 years. Everyone they knew would be dead. The world they knew was gone. "We were supposed to wake up after 50 years, Dae said, checking the pod systems. Something went wrong. Hyun stood up, fighting the stiffness in his legs. "We need to find out. What happened to Earth, to our people?" They found clothes in a nearby locker and dressed. The bunker was deep underground, built to last through any attack. But 300 years was too long. The walls were cracked, water dripped from the ceiling. "The air filters won't last another day," Dae warned. "We need to go to the surface." "Is it safe?" Jin asked, checking her weapon. It still worked, which was a small comfort. "Only one way to find out," Hyun said. They gathered what supplies they could find. Food packs, old weapons, medical kits. Then they made their way up through the bunker. Many doors were stuck. Dae had to force them open. After an hour of climbing, they reached the final door to the outside. "Ready?" Hyun asked. The others nodded. He pushed the button. The door slid open with a groan. Bright light flooded in, making them cover their eyes. When they could see again, they stepped outside into a world they didn't recognize. They stood in what was once a city, Seoul, their home. But now it was just ruins. Buildings had fallen. Trees and plants grew everywhere. The streets were gone, replaced by wild grass and flowers. "It's beautiful," Mina said. "Nature took back the land." "Look there." Jin pointed to the sky. No sign of the alien ships. "Did we win the war?" Sue pulled out a device that tested the air. "The air is clean, no radiation, no poisons. The planet has healed itself." They walked through the ruins of Seoul for hours. They found no people, no signs of human life. But they did find something strange. Places where the ruins had been dug up. Things had been taken. "Scavengers," Jin said, kneeling by a hole in the ground. "Not animals. Someone with tools did this." "Aliens?" June asked, looking nervous. "Maybe," Hyun said. "Or maybe humans who came back." Hope filled them at that thought. Maybe they weren't the last humans after all. As the sun began to set, they found shelter in a half-standing building. Dae got a small heater working. They sat in a circle eating their ration packs. "We need to find out what happened," Hyun said. "Where did our people go? Did any survive?" "The military command center might have answers," Jin suggested. "It was built even stronger than our bunker." "We'll go there tomorrow," Hyun decided. That night, as the others slept, Hyun stood guard. He looked up at the night sky. The stars looked the same. But somewhere up there, the aliens who attacked Earth might still be waiting. Did they think all humans were dead? Would they come back if they knew some had survived? Morning came, and with it new hope. They made their way across the wild city to where the military command center had been. The building was mostly still standing. Its walls were made of special metal that didn't rust or break easily. The doors are sealed tight, Day said, examining the entrance. That's a good sign. Maybe the systems inside still work. It took them hours to get inside. The security systems were still working, but Sue knew the old codes. Finally, the huge doors opened. Inside, it was dark. Day found the backup power system and got it working. Lights came on, weak but enough to see by. Amazing, Mina said. This place was made to last. They split up to search the building. Hyun and Jin went to the command room. The computers were off, but Jin found a special drive, one made to last centuries. Let's see what's on it, Hyun said. They took the drive to the main computer room where Sue was already working. She plugged it in. The screen lit up with the Earth Defense Force logo. Welcome to Operation Phoenix, a recorded voice said. If you are watching this, then the worst has happened. Earth has fallen to the enemy we call the Concordat. They watched, in silence, as the recording explained what had happened. The aliens, the Concordat, had attacked without warning. Earth's defenses had failed. Most of humanity had died in the first day of fighting. But not all is lost, the recording continued. Small groups escaped. Ships left Earth before the final attack. They scattered across the stars, hiding their human identity. One day they will need leaders to unite them. The recording showed a map of the galaxy with small dots spread across it. Each dot was a place where humans might have survived. That's us, Sue said. We're those leaders. There's more, Jin said as the recording continued. Before the end, we built one last ship, our finest creation. We called it the Vengeance. It has technology the aliens never saw, power they can't match. We hid it where they would never look. The recording showed coordinates, a place not far from Earth. Find the ship. Unite our people. Show the galaxy that humanity isn't defeated. We are just waiting for the right time to return. The recording ended. The 6 people stood in silence, taking in what they had learned. So that's our mission, Hyun finally said. Find this ship. Find our people. We don't even have a small shuttle, June pointed out. How do we get to these coordinates? There, Day said, pointing to another part of the screen. There's a small ship in a hidden hangar under this building. It's meant for this exact purpose. Hope filled the room. They weren't alone. Humanity still existed out among the stars. And now they had a purpose, to find them, unite them, and show the galaxy that humans were back. Let's get to work, Hyun said. We have a ship to find. The small ship rose from the hidden hangar beneath the military command center. June sat at the controls, his hands moving with sure skill despite being asleep for 300 years. The others held on as the ship pushed up through Earth's atmosphere. The ship runs well for being so old, Day said, checking the engine readings. They built things to last back then. Hyun looked back at Earth through the view screen. From space, their homeworld looked peaceful. Blue oceans, green and brown land, white clouds. You couldn't see the ruins from up here. You couldn't tell that humans no longer lived there. I never thought I'd see Earth again, Mina said softly, even if it's not the same. We'll come back, Hyun promised. After we find our people. June set their course for the coordinates from the recording. It would take them 2 days to reach the spot where the Vengeance was hidden. As they traveled, they saw no other ships. Space around Earth was empty. Where are the alien patrols? Jin asked. If they won the war, why leave Earth unguarded? Maybe they think no one is left to guard against, Sue suggested. On the second day, they reached the coordinates, but they saw nothing special. Just empty. Space near a small moon of Jupiter. Are we in the wrong place? June asked, checking the navigation system again. No, this is it, Day confirmed. She looked at the readings from the ship's sensors. Wait, there's something strange about this area. The light doesn't move right. A cloaking shield, Sue said, excitement in her voice. The ship is here, but we can't see it. Day worked with the ship's computer. I'm sending the recognition code from the military command center's files. They waited. For a long minute, nothing happened. Then, right in front of them, space itself seemed to ripple and change. A massive ship appeared where empty space had been before. It was long and sleek with powerful engines and weapon systems along its hull. The Vengeance, Hyun whispered. It was bigger than he had imagined, much bigger than their small shuttle. June guided their ship toward the Vengeance. A docking bay opened up, inviting them in. They landed smoothly inside the massive warship. When they stepped out of their shuttle, the Vengeance seemed to come alive. Lights turned on. The air system started working. It was as if the ship had been waiting for them. "Welcome, authorized Earth Defense Force personnel," a computer voice said. "This vessel has been in standby mode for 297 years, 4 months, and 12 days. They explored the ship with wonder. It was clean and ready to use. The ship's systems recognized them from their genetic code and military records. Hyun had full command, access as the highest-ranking officer. "This ship is amazing," Day said as she studied the engine room. "This technology is way beyond what we had when Earth fell. They must have been working on it in secret for years." "Look at these weapon systems," Jin said in the control room. "They don't just destroy. They can disable other ships without killing the crew." In the bridge, June sat at the pilot's seat. The controls lit up for him. "It feels right," he said, with a smile. "Like it was made for me." Hyun found the captain's quarters. Inside was a recorded message from Admiral Park, the leader of Earth's forces during the final battle. "The Vengeance is humanity's last hope," Admiral Park said in the recording. "It has the best of our technology, faster than light engines that are better than anything the Concordat has, shields that can adapt to any weapon, and a special system that can find humans by their genetic code, no matter how far they are." That night, they slept on the Vengeance. It felt safe, like a piece of home that had survived when everything else was gone. In the morning, they gathered on the bridge to make a plan. "The ship's scanner can find humans," Hyun said. "Where should we look first?" "Somewhere with lots of different aliens," Sue suggested. "A place where humans might hide among other species." June checked the star charts in the ship's computer. "Nexus Station. It's a trading hub about 3 days from here at top speed. All kinds of species go there to trade." "Set course for Nexus Station," Hyun ordered. The Vengeance moved with surprising grace for such a large ship. Its engines were quiet but powerful. They reached speeds that their old ships could never match. 3 days later, they approached Nexus Station. It was a massive structure floating in space with hundreds of ships coming and going. "Turn on the cloaking shield," Hyun said. "We don't want to scare anyone with a warship." Instead, they took their small shuttle to dock at the station. Before they left the Vengeance, they all changed into simple clothes that wouldn't stand out. "Remember, we don't know how aliens feel about humans now," Hyun warned. "Don't tell anyone who we are yet." Nexus Station was busy and loud. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the wide halls. Some looked almost human. Others were very different, with scales, extra arms, or skin in strange colors. The 6 humans stayed close together. They had translator devices from the Vengeance that helped them understand the alien languages. "Welcome, travelers," said a tall alien with green scales and a long neck. "I am Vistal, commander of this station. Your species is not in our records. Where are you from?" "We're from a small system far from here," Hyun said carefully. "We're traders looking for new partners." Vistal's eyes narrowed slightly. "Interesting. You look similar to a species I've heard stories about, but they've been gone for centuries." "We get that a lot," Jin said with a small smile. "Just one of those faces, I guess." "Enjoy your stay on Nexus," Vistal said. "But know that we scan all visitors. Any illegal activity will be punished." As they walked through the market area of the station, they saw amazing things. Foods they had never seen before. Tools made with strange materials. Aliens talking, laughing, arguing. "No one recognizes us as human," Sue whispered. "It's like we're just a story to them now." "Look at that sign," Mina pointed to writing on a wall. "It has the old Earth trading symbol hidden in the design. They followed the subtle signs through the market until they reached a small shop selling cloth and clothes. Jin went in first while the others waited outside. The shop owner was a tall, thin alien with 4 arms and blue skin. But as soon as Jin mentioned Earth, the alien's eyes went wide. "Come to the back room," the alien said quickly. "All of you, in." The back room, the blue alien pressed a hidden button. Its face seemed to ripple and change. It was a mask. When it came off, a human face was underneath. "My name is Tay," the human said in a shaky voice. "I haven't met new humans in 20 years. "Where did you come from?" Jin explained about the cryosleep and the vengeance. Tay listened with growing excitement. "You need to meet the others," Tay said. "There are 40 of us on this station. We live in secret. We change our looks to blend in." That night, Tay led them to a hidden section of the station. Behind secret doors was a small community of humans. Some looked normal. Others had used alien technology to change their skin color or add features to help them blend in. An old man stepped forward. His back was straight despite his age. "I am Elder One," he said. "Welcome, brothers and sisters from Earth. We have stories about the last days of our homeworld, passed down through generations. But we never thought we'd meet anyone who actually saw it." "Why do you hide?" Yun asked. "Is being human still dangerous?" "The Concordat still has standing orders to report any human sightings," Juan explained. "Most young aliens don't even know what we look like anymore. But the old ones remember. They remember how dangerous we were, how quickly we learned and adapted." Later, as they shared a meal with their newfound kin, Tay explained more. "There are other groups like us throughout the galaxy. We have a secret communication network. We call it Earthlight. It lets us talk to each other safely." "Do you know why the Concordat attacked Earth?" Sue asked. "What did we do to them?" "Some say there was a prophecy," one said. "Others think they feared how quickly humans learned alien technology. We were too adaptable, too curious. They saw us as a threat." Before they could learn more, alarms blared throughout the station. An announcement echoed through the halls. "Attention all residents and visitors. A Concordat inspection vessel has docked. All beings must submit to standard genetic scanning. This is a routine inspection." The humans looked at each other with fear in their eyes. "If they scan us, they'll know what we are," Jin said. "And then," one added grimly, "they'll finish what they started 300 years ago." "We need to hide," Elder One said as the alarm kept ringing. The 40 humans in the secret room looked scared. "No," Day said, her mind working fast. "I have a better idea." She pulled out a small device from her pocket. It was from the Vengeance. "This can connect to the station's air system. I can release a special gas that will hide our human DNA for a few hours." "Will it hurt the aliens?" Hyun asked. "No," Day promised. "It's harmless. It just blocks the scanners." One nodded. "Do it." Day and Sue left quickly. They found an air control panel in a quiet hallway. With quick hands, Day opened the panel and connected her device. Sue kept watch. "Ready," Day said after a minute. "When I press this button, the gas will spread through the whole station." "Will it work?" Sue asked. "It has to," Day said and pressed the button. Back in the hidden room, Hyun made a plan with Jin. "We need to see these Concordat inspectors. Learn what they know about humans." "That's risky," Jin said. "We came back to help our people," Hyun reminded her. "This is how we start." Jin nodded. "I'm with you." Hyun and Jin left the hidden area. They walked through the main halls of the station like they belonged there. The gas Day released was working. Aliens were being scanned, but no alarms were going off. In the main docking area, they saw the Concordat inspection team. 5 tall aliens in black uniforms. Their skin was pale blue and they had no hair. Their eyes were sharp and cold. The leader was talking to Vistal, the station commander. Hyun and Jin moved closer to listen. "Commander Krex," Vistal was saying. "This is the 3rd inspection this month. My people are getting tired of being scanned." The Concordat officer, Krex, didn't smile. There has been unusual activity in this sector. Old technology turning on after centuries. We need to be careful. What kind of technology? Vistal asked. That's not your concern, Krek said coldly. Just know that the Concordat is watching. Hyun felt a chill. Were they talking about the vengeance? Did they know it was active again? As Krex turned away from Vistal, he looked straight at Hyun and Jin. For a moment they stood face to face with the enemy who had destroyed their world. But Krex's eyes showed no recognition. To him, they were just two more aliens on a busy station. You, Krex pointed at Jin. Step forward for scanning. Jin moved forward calmly. One of Krex's team held up a scanning device. It beeped but showed no warning. Next, Krex said, already losing interest. He didn't know that he was looking at the very species his people had tried to wipe out. After the Concordat team moved on, Hyun and Jin went back to the hidden room. Everyone was waiting for news. The gas worked, Jin announced. They scanned me and saw nothing. But they know something's happening, Hyun added. They're looking for old technology that's turning on. They must mean the vengeance. Elder Wan looked worried. If they're increasing patrols, it will be harder for humans to move around. We need to warn the other communities. Use your Earthlight network, Sue suggested. Tell them to be extra careful. We'll do more than warn them, Hyun said. We'll unite them. That's why we're here. That night, Elder Wan showed them the Earthlight system. It was a clever network that hid messages in normal space traffic. Using it, they contacted other human groups throughout the galaxy. There are more of us than I thought, Mina said, looking at a map that showed all the human settlements they knew about. Thousands of humans spread across dozens of worlds. But still too few to fight the Concordat directly, Jin noted. We don't need to fight yet, Hyun said. First we gather information, then we make a plan. The next morning, they said goodbye to Elder Wan and the humans of Nexus Station. We'll be back, Hyun promised. Stay safe until then. They returned to the Vengeance, still hidden by its cloaking shield. Once aboard, they set course for the nearest human settlement based on the Earthlight information. Terrace 4, June said as he piloted the ship away from Nexus Station. A mining world. There are 500 humans there working as miners. 3 days later, they reached Terrace 4. It was a dark planet with deep mines that produced valuable metals. From orbit, they scanned the planet. The humans are all in one area, Sue reported. They live in the poorest section of the main mining camp. Are they slaves? Jin asked, her hand moving to her weapon. Not exactly, Sue said. But they're not free either. They're workers who can never pay off their debts. They took the shuttle down to the surface, leaving the Vengeance hidden in orbit. The mining camp was dirty and loud. Huge machines dug into the ground. Workers with tired faces moved heavy loads. They found the human section easily enough. The homes were small and simple, but clean. Children played in narrow streets. Adults walked with bent backs, tired from long days in the mines. A woman approached them. She was strong-looking despite her age. You're new, she said simply. And you're not trying to hide what you are. My name is Hyun, he said. We're from Earth. The woman's eyes grew wide. Earth is gone. We slept for a long time, Hyun explained. We're here to help our people. The woman took them to her home. Inside, they met more humans. Unlike the humans on Nexus Station, these people didn't hide. They were too many to hide. I'm Sun, the woman said. I lead our people here. We work hard and keep our heads down. The mine owners don't care what species we are as long as we work. Don't the Concordat ever come here? Mina asked. Sometimes, Sun said. But they don't bother with poor miners. We're not important enough. Hyun told Sun about their mission to unite humanity. She listened carefully. We keep some of the old ways alive, Sun said after Hyun finished. The children learn Earth history in secret. We still tell the old stories. What about technology? Dai asked. Did your people save any Earth technology? Sun smiled for the first time. Come with me, She led them to a hidden room under her house. Inside were old computers and tools from Earth. My grandfather was an engineer, Sun explained. He saved what he could when they escaped Earth. We've kept it working all these years. Sue examined the old technology with excitement. This will help us understand what happened, why the Concordat attacked us. For the next 3 days, Sue and Mina studied the old records while the others learned about life on Terrace 4. The humans there were strong, but tired of living in fear. We'll join you, Sun told Hyun on their last day. When the time comes to stand up to the Concordat, call on us. We might be minors, but we remember how to fight. Back on the Vengeance, Sue shared what she had learned from the old records. It wasn't a prophecy that made them attack us, she said. It was fear. The Concordat saw how quickly humans learned and improved alien technology. They were afraid we would soon be stronger than them. So they tried to wipe us out before we became a threat, Jin said. Yes, Sue nodded, and they almost succeeded. Their next destination was farther away, a water world called Aqualis. According to the Earthlight Network, it held the largest human settlement in the galaxy. As the Vengeance traveled through space, Hyun stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. We're making progress, he said to Jin, finding our people, learning the truth. But the Concordat is getting suspicious, Jin reminded him. They know something is happening. It's only a matter of time before they find us. Then we need to be ready when they do, Hyun said. The humans on Nexus hide in plain sight. The ones on Terrace work in the mines. I wonder what the humans on Aqualis have been doing all these years. We'll find out soon enough, Jin said. Little did they know that on a Concordat ship not far away, Commander Krex was looking at a report. It showed energy readings from the area around Nexus Station and Terrace the 4, readings that matched no known ship. Find the source of these readings, Krex ordered his crew. Whatever it is, I want it found now. The hunt had begun. The Vengeance dropped out of light speed near Aqualis. The planet below was blue and green, covered almost completely by water. Only a few small islands broke the surface. No wonder humans settled here, Mina said. It would be hard for the Concordat to find them on a water world. I'm reading thousands of structures under the water, Sue reported from her scanner. Some are very large. Any ships? Jin asked. Yes, about 20 small vessels moving around the planet. They look like research ships. Hyun studied the readings. Let's make contact, but carefully. June, keep the cloaking shield on and take us into orbit. They sent a coded message using the Earthlight system. The response came quickly. They're asking us to land on the largest island, Sue said. Coordinates are coming in now. They took their small shuttle down to the island. It was beautiful, with white sand and tall trees. As they landed, they saw a group of people waiting for them. The E leader stepped forward as they exited the shuttle. He was tall and strong, wearing a uniform unlike anything they had seen before. It was blue and white with a symbol that looked like a wave. I am Admiral Young, he said. Welcome to Aqualis. We've been expecting someone like you for a long time. Hyun introduced himself and his team. Admiral Young listened with a serious face. Earth survivors, awakened after 3 centuries, Young said when Hyun finished. And you found the Vengeance, the last great ship of Earth. How do you know about the Vengeance? Jin asked, surprised. Come with me, Young said. There's much to show you. Admiral Young led them to what looked like a simple building among the trees. But inside was an elevator that took them deep under the water. When the doors opened, they gasped. Before them was an underwater city. Buildings made of strong, clear material let them see the ocean all around. Fish and other sea creatures swam past. People walked along clear tunnels connecting the buildings. Welcome to New Atlantis, Young said with pride. Home to 10,000 humans. 10,000? Mina whispered. That's more than all the other settlements we've found combined. Young led them through the city. People stopped to stare as they passed. Word spread quickly that visitors from Earth had arrived. They entered a large building in the center of the city. Inside was what looked like a military command center. People in uniforms worked at screens and control panels. "This is our defense headquarters," Young explained. "We may look like simple researchers to the outside world, but we've been preparing for 300 years. "Preparing for what?" Hyun asked. "To take back our place in the galaxy." Young showed them a large room filled with maps and battle plans. "Our ancestors were military leaders and scientists who escaped Earth with as much knowledge as they could. Carry, they settled here because the water hides us from orbital scans." "And those ships we saw?" Jin asked. "They look like research vessels to anyone watching," Young said with a smile, "but they're actually warships in disguise. Not as powerful as your vengeance, but good enough to protect our home." That night, they shared a meal with Admiral Young and his officers. The food was mostly fish and plants grown in underwater farms. "We've built a good life here," Young told them. "But we've never forgotten Earth. Every child learns about our home world. Every adult trains to defend our people." "The other human settlements we found are just trying to survive," Hyun said. "They hide or work as low-class citizens." "We started that way too," Young admitted. "But over generations we grew stronger. We learned to use the ocean to our advantage." Day asked about their technology. Young took her to see their engineering section, where they built ships and weapons. "We've had to be careful," he explained. "If we develop too quickly, the Concordat might notice. So we've focused on small improvements, nothing that would draw attention." Sue and Mina visited the science labs where researchers studied the ocean life and developed new medicines. "Some of these cures would be worth fortunes on other worlds," a scientist told them. "But we can't sell them without revealing who we are." Jin spent time with Young's security team. They showed her fighting styles developed for underwater combat, and weapons that worked even in the deep ocean. June explored their ships. They were smaller than the Vengeance but clever in design. "These could outrun most Concordat patrol ships," he said, impressed. After 3 days of learning about Aqualis, Hyun met with Admiral Young to discuss their next steps. "We've found human settlements on several worlds," Hyun told him. "Some hiding, some working as slaves, all of them waiting for something to change. With the Vengeance, we can unite them. Together with your people, we could be strong enough to face the Concordat." Young listened carefully. "My people have been waiting for a sign, a reason to stop hiding. Is the Vengeance that sign?" Before Hyun could answer, an alarm sounded throughout the underwater city. A young officer ran into the room. "Admiral, our long-range sensors have detected a Concordat battle group entering the system." Young moved quickly to the command center. On the large screen, they could see 5 large Concordat ships moving toward Aqualis. "How did they find us?" Jin asked. "They didn't," Young said grimly. "They found you. Your Vengeance must have been detected despite its cloaking shield." Hyun felt cold fear. Had he led the enemy straight to the largest human settlement? "We need to lead them away from here," he said. "If they find this place, they'll destroy it." "You can't outrun a battle group," Young warned. "The Vengeance can," June said confidently. "It's faster than anything the Concordat has." "Then go," Young decided. "Draw them away. We'll prepare our people. The time for hiding is over." They rushed back to their shuttle. As they flew up to where the Vengeance waited in orbit, they could see the Concordat ships getting closer. "They haven't spotted the underwater city yet," Sue reported. "They're following the energy trail from the Vengeance." Once aboard their ship, June took the controls. "Ready to show them what this ship can do?" Hyun nodded. "Drop the cloaking shield. Let them see us. Then run." The Vengeance appeared in space, its sleek form catching the light of the system's sun. Almost immediately, the Concordat ships changed course, heading straight for them. "They've seen us," Jin said. "All 5 ships are in pursuit." "Taking us to light speed," June announced. The stars stretched and blurred as the Vengeance leaped forward, faster than any ship had moved in 300 years. But the Concordat ships followed. They were slower, but they had enough speed to keep the Vengeance in their tracking systems. "Where are we going?" Mina asked. Hyun looked at the star map. "The Veil Nebula. It's a cloud of gas and dust. Their sensors won't work well there." As they raced through space with the enemy behind them, Hyun knew they had reached a turning point. The quiet search for human survivors was over. Now the Concordat knew that humans had returned. The real battle was about to begin. In the command room of the lead Concordat ship, Commander Krex watched the unknown vessel flee. Its design matched nothing in their records, but its power readings were off the scale. "What is that ship?" an officer asked. "I don't know," Krex said. "But I will find out, and when I do, I will destroy it. Nothing threatens the Concordat." Little did he know that the ship he chased was humanity's revenge, 300 years in the making, and it was just the beginning. The Vengeance raced through space with 5 Concordat ships following behind. June's hands moved quickly over the controls as he guided the ship toward the Veil Nebula. "They're still on our tail," Jin reported. "But they're falling behind. We're faster." "Good," Hyun said. "But we don't just want to escape. We want to fight them on our terms." They reached the nebula, a massive cloud of gas and dust that spread across space like colorful smoke. The Vengeance dove into it, and visibility dropped immediately. "Their sensors will be almost blind in here," Day said. "So are ours, but I've been studying the ship's systems. We have something they don't." She activated a special scanner that could map the nebula's currents and flows. "We can see paths through the nebula that they can't. We can use that." June smiled as he understood her plan. "We can pick them off one by one." The Concordat ships entered the nebula in a tight formation, but soon the swirling gases forced them to spread out, exactly as Hyun had hoped. "There," he pointed to the scanner. "The smallest ship has fallen behind the others." June turned the Vengeance around. They moved silently through the nebula until they were right above the Concordat ship. "Weapons ready," Jin said from the weapons station. "What's the plan? Destroy it?" Hyun shook his head. "No, we're not killers. Use the pulse cannon. Disable their engines and communications." Jin fired. A blue beam shot from the Vengeance and hit the Concordat ship. Its lights flickered and went dark. "Direct hit," Jin reported. "Their engines and communications are down. Life support is still working. They're stranded but alive." "1 down, 4 to go," Hyun said. Over the next few hours, they disabled 3 more Concordat ships the same way. Each time they left the crews alive but stranded in the nebula. Rescue would come eventually, but not soon enough to help chase the Vengeance. Only the flagship remained, Commander Krex's ship. It was bigger and better armed than the others. "They've figured out something is wrong," Sue warned. "They're trying to leave the nebula." "We can't let Krex escape," Hyun said. "He'll warn the entire Concordat about us." "I have an idea," Mina said. "But it's risky." Her plan was bold. The Vengeance would pretend to be damaged, luring Krex's ship in close. Then they would use the ship's most powerful weapon, an electromagnetic pulse that could shut down any ship within range. "It will shut us down too," Day warned. "But our systems will restart faster. If it works." "It will work," Mina said confidently. They positioned the Vengeance in a clear area of the nebula and sent out a fake distress signal. Krex's ship approached cautiously. "They're taking the bait," Jin said. "They're moving in to capture us." "Wait until they're in range," Hyun ordered. "We'll only get one shot at this." The Concordat flagship grew larger in their view screen. They could see its weapons pointed at them. "Now," Hyun commanded. Day activated the pulse. A wave of energy burst from the Vengeance in all directions. Both ships went dark immediately. For a tense minute, they floated powerless in space. Then, just as Mina had predicted, the Vengeance's systems came back online first. "We have power," Day reported. "Their ship is still dead." "Let's finish this," Hyun said. Instead of disabling Krex's ship from a distance, Hyun had a different plan. "Jin, prepare a boarding team. We're going to capture Commander Krex." "Why risk it?" June asked. "Because we need information," Hyun explained. "And we need the galaxy to know that humans are back." Jin led the boarding party onto the Concordat ship. With their special suits from the Vengeance, they moved through the darkened halls with ease. The Concordat crew, confused and scared in the darkness, offered little resistance. They found Commander Krex on the bridge trying to restart his ship's systems. "Hello, Commander," Jin said, stepping out of the shadows. "Humans send their regards." Krex's eyes widened in shock. "Humans? Impossible. Your kind was wiped out centuries ago." "Not all of us," Jin said, "and now we're back." They took Krex prisoner and returned to the Vengeance. In the ship's holding cell, Hyun questioned him. "Why did the Concordat try to destroy humanity?" he asked. Krex laughed bitterly. "Because you were dangerous. Your kind learned too quickly, adapted too easily. In just a century of space travel, you had already improved on technologies it took other species millennia to develop." "So you feared us," Hyun said. "The Concordat fears nothing," Krex snapped. "We maintain order. Your species was chaos." While Krex remained their prisoner, Day made an amazing discovery. The Vengeance had one more system they hadn't used yet, a powerful communication array that could broadcast messages across the entire galaxy. "We can tell everyone the truth," Day explained. "Show them what the Concordat did to Earth. Show them that humans are still alive." "Do it," Hyun ordered. Day activated the system. Using records from Earth's final days and information from the human settlements they'd visited, they created a message. It showed the Concordat's attack on Earth, the attempted genocide of humanity, and how humans had survived in hiding for centuries. The message went out to every corner of the galaxy. On thousands of worlds, beings of all species saw the truth about the Concordat's crimes. On Aqualis, Admiral Young saw the message and knew it was time. He ordered his hidden fleet to reveal itself. The disguised warships rose from the oceans, ready to fight. On Terrace Thor, Sun and the miners downed their tools and stood tall for the first time in generations. On Nexus Station, Elder One and his people stepped out of the shadows, no longer hiding who they were. And across the galaxy, in places Hyun didn't even know about, humans who had been hiding for 300 years revealed themselves and prepared to fight. The Concordat's response was swift and brutal. They dispatched their elite purifier fleet, the same one that had destroyed Earth centuries ago, with orders to finish what they had started. 2 weeks later, the massive purifier ships approached Nexus Point, where Hyun had called all human. Forces to gather. Admiral Young's fleet was there. Ships from a dozen hidden human colonies had come. They were outnumbered and outgunned by the purifier fleet. "Is this where humanity makes its last stand?" Admiral Young asked Hyun as they watched the enemy approach. "No," Hyun replied with a smile. "This is where humanity shows the galaxy who we really are." As if on cue, hundreds more ships appeared from light speed all around them. Human ships from settlements they hadn't even contacted. Ships from alien species who had seen the truth and chosen to stand with humanity against the Concordat's cruelty. In Nor, the lead purifier ship, the Admiral watched in shock as his sensors showed more and more ships appearing. What was supposed to be a quick extermination was turning into the largest space battle in galactic history. The battle began. The Vengeance led the charge, with June piloting it straight at the enemy's largest ship. The technologies that humans had developed in secret over centuries proved their worth. The Concordat's advantage melted away as human ingenuity and courage turned the tide. In the end, the purifier fleet was defeated, not destroyed. Hyun had given strict orders to capture, not kill. The Concordat admiral surrendered, his mighty ships disabled by human weapons. 3 days later, representatives from all galactic factions gathered on the neutral world of Harmonious. The Concordat's prime minister offered surrender, but Hyun proposed something else. A new galactic charter where all species would have equal rights and representation. "We could have chosen revenge," Hyun told the assembly. "But that's not who we are. Humanity doesn't seek to rule, we seek to build." As he spoke, he thought about Earth. Mina had already started a project to restore their home world. One day humans would return there. "For centuries we were forgotten by all and feared by none," Hyun concluded. "Now they will remember that. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our ability to fight, it's our ability to forgive and move forward together." The new era had begun, and humanity would help lead the way.